Welcome to this edition of the DGD podcast. As always, Robert Reynolds and Juan Daniels. Juan, there's a lot to talk about. The combine is going on. The brigade is coming in hot. They're coming in really, really hot. Actually, we're going to pull up the chat right now. It's booming. So as people start talking, we will see that in here. Let's go ahead and get started first, though. The DGD podcast is brought to you by La Terrain. Use code DGD at checkout. Get 10% off your purchase site-wide. Also, check out the Discord, free community right there talking, actually not even just Georgia fans. You can actually find about any college program. Welcome to all teams, discord.com/invite/Bones Brigade. Also, get some intel if you join the patreon.com/DGD podcast. We're going to hop right into this one because there is a lot going on right now, a lot. Obviously, last night, I think, in my opinion, Pickens kind of broke the Georgia space last night. Official turns out to be 447. Look, nonetheless, my man made some hella money last night. As a receiver yourself, what are your thoughts about Pickens last night?
Man, anytime, I ran at the combine. My combine 40 time was not as good as his. But anytime that you're 6'3", 200 something pounds, and then you're also, running that type of speed, man, and then of course it says a lot about Ron Corson, who's the athletic trainer at Georgia, who was there when I was there, some 25 something years ago. Just what an amazing job he did, getting him healthy after that ACL tear and getting him healthy enough to not only run for the combine, but also make a big time catch in the national championship.
I think it is impressive to what Ron Corson was able to do, right? Because coming off of that kind of injury, that's a quick turnaround to be able to sit there and produce on the level he was. Coming into the season, we were questioning if he was going to be able to do it at all. I think we kind of talked about toward the end of the season, which kind of came true there, just at a limited capacity. But look, that catch, the post route, man, in the national title game is going to be remembered for a very long time. And that also tells you, for him to go out there and produce at that level, make that kind of catch, and then follow it up with a 4.47, if you want to say official 40. Look, I was thinking maybe like a 4.54 at one point, and he just made me look wrong. Like, he was like, you look stupid, and he proved me wrong. I think a lot of other folks did too. A lot of people think of 4.5s. My man runs a 4.47. Obviously, the unofficial is always the more fun. To talk about that 4.4 flat, which, let's just be honest, this whole receiving core, this draft class is ridiculously fast. There was guys running unofficial 4.21, broke the record unofficially, right? And then obviously I want to see around like a 4.4, like a 4.27 official. And then, you have guys like Olave, right, running fast as shit too. And you're just like, okay, like it was just insane.
What people don't realize is that, being up there in Indianapolis, running at that combine, the turf is so thick and you're almost like sinking into it. So your times are going to be a lot slower than what you're going to do at your pro day. So if he's running that fast in Indianapolis, when he actually does his pro day, I mean, he's pretty much going to be an absolute burner. And then, of course, also, too, you've got something to kind of measure yourself with. And then, of course, when your pro day, gets there, he's absolutely going to blow it out of the water.
Yeah, and obviously you've got like 14 guys from at the combine throughout this entirety, and then you hear guys like, Jordan Davis playing at 350 this season. Seeing what he did, like, to me, I'm sitting here looking at this, I'm like, so if I'm a fan of Georgia or anybody, I'm like, wow, because I saw what he did, and if he did that at that weight, him trying to slim down to what he said, 330, if I'm not mistaken, that's scary because, like, for him to be that athletic at 350, I can only fathom to believe what happens at 330.
Yeah, he's going to be a monster. And I agree, too, with Rudes up here. He just says, cooking, is definitely, he's made a lot of improvement, probably the most improved offensive player. I mean, he is probably one of your most complete backs that you're going to have. Obviously, he's got the reputation of his brother, Dalvin, who has made a pretty good name for himself in the NFL, and has probably got some coaching tips. But you are correct; he has made the most improvement for an offensive player. I'm excited to see not only what he does at the combine, but also how well he does in the NFL.
No doubt about that. And one of my favorite lines, I think, from this whole combine, if you're a Georgia fan, this has got to be one of your favorites. Leading up to the combine, you hear J-Mo talking about, if we were healthy, Georgia wouldn't win the title. Well, obviously, Jamari gets asked this at his interview portion of the combine. His line, if I'm not mistaken, to quote, the game's over. We scored more points. I love the subtle way to shut down all of that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to go on a little rant here, Juan, rant time. As you know, it's crazy for me to believe that you take Bama, right? They're used to winning. You see it on the wall, no excuses. But then you get beat in the national title, which who they call their little brother, right? We're their little brother, apparently. And then you sit here and start making these excuses. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, if this, if that. Look, you got beat. There's no excuses. You had an opportunity. Your guys didn't execute. Everybody that was watching that game saw it. So them two could have changed the outlook of the game, but they weren't there. So enough of the bullshit, enough of the excuses. Come back next year ready to go, right? If Georgia would have lost, we wouldn't be hearing this, right? And I would hope that Georgia wouldn't make excuses, but I can't speak for everybody in this fan base.
I cannot do that. True. Yeah.
But at the same time, Georgia was not healthy as well, right? Both teams were not healthy. You cannot sit there and use injuries as an excuse because it's going to happen. Now, unfortunately, that's two impact players, Mechie and J-Mo, but you still got 5 stars behind them.
Yeah.
There's no excuses when you have that level of talent. It was all execution. So, and then Nick Saban goes on his rant talking about, basically calling the guys out without naming them, right? We knew who he was talking about. Absolutely knew who he was talking about. Come on, man. Stop making excuses. Nick, you're better than that. Like, you're the GOAT, right, of coaching. There's no question about it. You're the GOAT. Stop doing it.
Yeah.
It's like he gets older and starts doing this shit
but
more.
Realistically, whose fault is that? Yeah, players have some type of responsibility, but as a coach, you got to hold your players accountable. So, if your player is not getting the best or doing the best that they can absolutely be, that's on you as a coach. So don't put that off on those other guys. But yeah, and I've heard that. And anybody that says something like, "Oh, well, if they had this, who cares? It doesn't matter. You lost."
Absolutely.
You lost. I mean, we could make so many excuses for everything. If Tua doesn't go into the game, we win the first national championship.
Exactly.
So, again, who cares? I just think it's funny.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you somebody who's not losing. That's Traylon.
Yeah. That's an amazing feat to just go up there and say, like, I'm cancer free.
That video moved me. Like, I know it moves a lot of people because, let's be honest, you could throw a rock up in the air, and I guarantee you, if you told somebody who's been impacted by cancer, everybody's going to put their hand up and try to catch that damn thing. So to hear that, it's always one of those things that, moves everybody, right?
Yeah.
But to hear that, it's just one of those things where, like, it's more than football. It's more than football. So hearing that, hey, shout out to Traylon.
Well, shout out to Patrick too. When I saw where she posted it, and Patrick Oliver tweeted it, and then she actually put something. He put something on her Twitter space. So we got people in the brigade, that's supporting this. It's just amazing. We've got an unbelievable brigade. We've got an unbelievable fan base in Georgia. So just for us to rally around somebody like that is absolutely amazing.
Look, if y'all, for the brigadiers here that haven't went back and watched or listened to the G-Day episode, she came on, and the passion that she has for the fan base, for for Dog Nation. Like if you didn't care about her battle and her things like that, like if you're a dog fan and you don't support that, come on, man. That girl is passionate as hell about some dogs.
Yeah.
Period. Look,
Yeah.
and the best part about it, and look, we're going to try to bring her on for another G-Day episode. I'm just going to let y'all know that now because I have questions about that pick six. I do. Because I know for a fact she was wilding out. I'm just going to leave it there. I know for a fact she was. But yeah, hey, Trayley, I know you're listening. Team Trayley, you kick cancer's ass. Keep it up. Now, with that being said, we're on a good note, guys. We're on a Friday high, if you want to call it. Let's talk recruiting. Juan, I'm gonna let you start here. So for the topic of this right now, we're gonna do some names to know, right? And what this is gonna entail is kids in college right now. You can do multiple classes. Juan, you can do 23, 24, 25, right? Kids that you think in the state of Georgia that UGA. So I'm gonna let you start with a couple names first within the state of Georgia that Georgia fans need to keep on their radar.
Yep. So first and foremost, we've got one of the top cornerback/safeties in the 2023 class, and that's Caleb Downs. So Caleb Downs took a trip to UGA, and they rolled out the red carpet. You had your boy Muschamp that just kind of grabbed a hold of him. I've been watching this kid play since he was 6 years old in Gwinnett County. Just unbelievable motor, unbelievable ball skills. And he elevates the Mill Creek Hawks to another level. But I'm going to tell you right now, all eyes are going to be on him. And right now, I think Georgia's going to be that front runner. But he is definitely a name for all Georgia fans that they need to know. And again, anytime you have an opportunity to hype him up, definitely do that. Another guy is going to be in the 2020, I think he's 2025. Maybe it's King Joseph Edwards.
24. But
is
yeah.
he 24? Okay, King Joseph. He also just took a trip up to Georgia. And, it's great because Gummy, his name is Gummy. I can't even think of his first name, McWhorter. No, sorry, Van Gorder. So it was Van Gorder's son that used to, the defensive coordinator used to be at Georgia. So Gummy actually took King Joseph around, and they were, I think, at a basketball game. They got an opportunity to talk to Kirby, but Gummy is a Buford guy. So he was a Buford quarterback. So he's definitely taking care of those Buford guys. He's a guy, big, strong, athletic. And if you get an opportunity, guys, go look him up on Twitter. They had just recently the big man relay race. So that's all the guys that throw the shot put, throw the discus, and they had an opportunity to run a big man relay race against other big men. And I'm going to tell you what, they absolutely smoked the competition. Go look it up. You will be entertained, but you'll be like, wow, those guys can absolutely run. And then the last guy in the 2024 class is going to be KJ Bolden. KJ, he's a big time big time safety. He's also a big time wide receiver. In that Buford championship game that we won, he had made two big, huge catches. One of those catches on the way down for that game-winning touchdown. So check him out. Not only is he one of the top players, but he's also top in track. So right now, the 4x1 for the Buford Wolves have the top time in the nation. They ran a 40.75, and KJ runs the second leg. So anybody that knows anything about track, your two fastest guys are going to be the second leg and the fourth leg. So he runs the second leg, and then Isaiah Bond, who was going to Florida and who's also going to probably have the top time in the 100 and 200, runs the fourth leg. So look up Buford track. You'll get an opportunity to see KJ run. You'll also get a chance to see King Joseph run. And I'm going to tell you what, these guys are top dogs.
No doubt about that. I'm going to go to the brigade here. Rudes, welcome. First time brigadier, it looks like. He's interested to see what Kirby does at the safety position now that he mentions it. Are you talking about like immediately, Rudes, or are you talking about in the future? If we're looking in the present, I'm telling you right now, it would not surprise me. And honestly, this could translate to both here. So I'm going to just say this right here. one name, Malachi Starks. I'm telling you right now, I have faith that that guy will be the next safety that can do it all, right? I think he's got tremendous ball skills. He's actually a thumper if you really look at it, and he's fast as hell too. So, I think right now, obviously, I think you look at Chris Smith coming back, Roots, perfect example of that seniority, that leadership that you need, especially back in the secondary. But you also look at Tyke Smith. Does Tyke play the star? I think he goes to safety, considering you've got Will Poole, and I think Will Poole is the star. There were questions about it last year, whether Tyke was going to be the star, and he was projected to. And then you see guys like Brainy and Will Poole. Will Poole had a great natty game, by the way. So you sit there, you see that right there, and now you can sit there and maybe hell, you never know. Dan Jackson's probably. I have a feeling he gets a scholarship and plays or starts at safety too. So there's just a plethora of guys that you could throw out. Dan Jackson didn't really, really do that bad, in my opinion, right? You had Sane and you had Chris Smith. So, it was one of those situations. But, and obviously I think the question is, how do you replace Sane? Well, I think you look at, like I said, Malachi could come in and, push perhaps. But then you also, Dan Jackson was just fine. But I think if you put Tyke Smith, you start to kind of put this, you kind of almost fill the same hole that Sane left with a thumper that has a little bit of a liability in coverage. So you start to wonder what you want there, right? Like, does he want more guys that come up and hit the box and thump? Or do you want guys that are more ball hawkish, right? And whatever happens there, I think is going to determine the personnel. I think that's the main question, what he views the safety positions to be. And as we transition from that too, obviously from a recruiting standpoint, Juan, you listed a few guys within the state of Georgia. Now it's my turn to talk about some North Carolina. Obviously, North Carolina, look, I'm telling you right now, guys, if you live in Georgia and you focus on Georgia high school recruiting, I'm telling you, open your eyes to North Carolina because there's some serious talent here. And it's through multiple classes, is all I'm going to say. First off, I'm going to do this because it's just me, Jamal Jarrett, guys. I'm just saying, 2023 defensive tackle, Under Armour camp goes in at 6'5", 339. Just got his 4-star back after that freaking performance he laid down. D-line MVP. Played against, did some one-on-one reps against some of the best guys in the country, especially the area. Dominates. He's a bull rusher, but he's also got some good hand movement too. As his senior year comes up, I'm telling you, it's going to get better. And when that happens, the rankings are going to show for it. I've been saying it over and over and over, and I'm going to ride this damn horse until the wheels fall off. That's the way it's going to be. I just see too much of Jordan Davis in there, and it's too good for me not to say, Georgia, you have to get him. You have to, right? Got a Tennessee visit this weekend. 25th of March, he's going to Georgia. I expect that to be a good one. Georgia, you know how it is, Juan. Georgia recruiting is just something different about it. Expect that to be good. But that's my main name here, especially like within the proximity of this timing. Look, there's another kid that I wish Georgia would be able to do something with. Like, looking at his measurables, I think his measurables are what stick out to me and probably ding him one. Kid named Barry Tate, man. Sit there, Northeast Guilford, receiver, 5'9", 170, plans to get about 185 perhaps, but he runs a 4.35. And watching his tape, he's very shifty, very elusive, similar to what you would see in kind of like a Barry Sanders, right? Real like jukey and real twitchy like that right there, trying to break tackles and stuff. I loved it, right? I love seeing that. I just think his height and measurables are just not up to what Georgia wants. And I wish that would change, because how interesting would it be to see a smaller guy like that make an impact and just, breakaway speed, because I feel like Georgia hasn't had that like true, you've got it. You've got that breakaway speed, but, make guys miss and then turn the burners on, right? Like Arian Smith, CJ Smith, those guys are elite speed. 4.35 is nothing to scoff about either. That's impressive as shit, really. I'd love to see more speed there, but also, like I said, I just think the measurables ding this kid. But at the same time, there's another kid in the 24 class out of Burlington, Jonathan Paler. about the same measurables, a little bit bulkier, but 24/7 has him as a number 8 overall kid right now in their rankings. So that leaves me with the question, if he can be that way, what's causing that difference, right? But that's another name too, Jonathan Paylor. Kid's going to be good, really, really good, really really twitchy. Runs a little bit strong, runs a little bit. He does running back and receiver. Georgia's already on him heavy, right? There's a couple kids in the 24 class, really several, in my opinion. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Let Juan do some more names. But Jonathan Paylor is another guy that you need to keep an eye out for. Look, build this North Carolina pipeline. Take him away from Mac Brown. I want to see it. I want to see it. Juan, give me maybe another name or two that you think that we need to keep an eye out for.
That's going to be well. The biggest thing is what is Overton going to do? What is Levius? I mean, we that would be huge.
Situation,
yeah. That would be huge just to know what he's going to do, especially since he's reclassed. Coming over from Milton. But then you also have Jack Luttrell, who his nickname I think is White Lightning. Is what they call him. He was at Hebron. His father took a job, I think, as a strength and conditioning coach that is down in Colquitt County. He is a ball hawking guy, unbelievable receiver, great defensively. Just he's a coach's son, so he's very, very cerebral. But I think he's had a couple of maybe a visit to Tennessee, somewhere else. This is another guy that Georgia really needs to get a hold of. Just kind of reminds you of that Kirby Smart. Just that meanness, that toughness, can jump through the sky. So he's going to be one. He's a 2023 guy. And then we have another guy that at Buford. And I hate to keep harping on Buford, but Buford's got a lot of guys.
I was about to say,
Edric Houston. Edric Houston is another guy. He plays tight end. He also plays the edge. Big time. He was very, very instrumental in that state championship run. He was instrumental all season. Tough, hard-nosed guy that, again, he's starting to collect all of these offers. But as these offers are coming in, Georgia can really just come in and glean, in what Buford's got, and really just have some fierce competitors. They already work hard in the weight room. They know what it takes. So, they're not having a huge learning curve when they actually go up to Georgia. And then again, you've got Gummy Van Gorder, who knows all of these kids. And so he knows what they bring. So hopefully they'll be down there heavily recruiting those kids out of Buford.
Yeah, look, you mentioned Buford over and over. Look, there's a reason why we're talking about these schools. They're just loaded with talent, right? Your Buford is the same as my Grimsley up here. One of the highest levels of your state's football, and you're pushing out D1 talent left and right and even around and around. It's just going that way. Yes, Patrick, I did mention that. I did mention him, yes. But then you talk about it, right? You look at, I'm going to go to Grimsley here. Got another couple guys. Look, 2 receivers, 2024 class, Alex Taylor, Terrell Anderson. Both guys are about 6'2", 6'3", right measurables for what you kind of think Kirby Smart wants to look for. I'm telling you right now, Terrell Anderson runs like a madman. As soon as he catches the ball, he immediately turns into this vicious ass runner. He runs mean. He's physical. He will make you pay for trying to come tackle him after he catches the ball. That's what I like to see with a possession receiver. But he's sneaky fast too. So don't get it twisted that he's just a possession receiver. Great possession receiver, by the way. But then you look at Alex Taylor. Alex Taylor, again, another guy, sneaky fast. I want to say he's about 6'3". I think he might be 6'3". But like I said, sneaky fast, great routes, crisp routes. I think he's even trying to work even better on his route running. Juan, you know about route running is important. Wow.
Yes, it is.
Say that 5 times fast. Route running is super important. And, you can create space by running the right routes. And that's what I've seen a lot of the times with Grimsley, and I expect to see it again this year. So both of those guys, in my opinion, look, they may not have it. They might both get some Georgia love. And I'm telling you right now, if they do, you heard it here first. There's a reason for it. They need to be shown some love from Georgia. I hope BMAC comes into the state of North Carolina, continues that North Carolina pipeline like he did when he was running backs coach, because he knew what he needed. He got it. And if you're not familiar, Todd Gurley. Keith Marshall, right? Just a couple names out of the state here, right? Obviously, we know his track record with overall, but he can find it, right? He can find it. So I won't be Mac up here, right? I won't be Mac coming in and finding these guys. Those two guys, like I said, Alex Taylor, Terrell Anderson. Look, I'm telling you, they're gonna have a breakout season here this year. And I would not be surprised. They've already got Michigan offers, a couple different offers, right? A couple Power 5 offers. That's going to change. They're going to blow up. I just see it coming. If they stay healthy, that's going to change. It's going to change. Before we do that one, is there anybody, could Buford is 6A or are they 7A?
They just moved up to 7, so they'll be 7A next year.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. So y'all are going to be playing the Gwinnett's. Okay, so that's going to be interesting there. Because I know if I'm not mistaken, I thought they were 6A. I remember the last time we had talked about Buford, they were 6A.
Yeah.
Y'all, Buford 3-peats. So I want to hear your thoughts here. With all that talent there, right, and we're going to show some love to these schools because we talk about them so much. Do you think Buford, with all the talent that's amassed in there and that's holding right there, do they go back-to-back now that they're – or do they go back again now that they're 7A?
That's a tough one. I mean, they lost 14 D1 scholar 14 D1 kids. They got D1 scholarships.
Good Lord.
And I think 2 or 3 or 4 of them maybe have gotten a couple of D2 and a couple of guys that are still waiting on waiting on some opportunity. So it's going to be tough. They lost all the skill guys. So most of the skill guys on offense, most of the skill guys on defense. But you know what? They're always coached well. They're always coached well. They're going to be tough. They do have to play Mill Creek this year, who has Caleb Downs that we talked about. And they're going to be facing some tough talent. They'll, maybe in the playoffs, they'll run into Malachi Singleton, who is the quarterback over at North Cobb, who I think is got a little bit of Georgia interest. You'll face another guy at maybe possibly at North Gwinnett, who's a legacy guy. His name is Grant Godfrey. His dad was Randall Godfrey, a big-time linebacker for Georgia, played with me, then went to the Cowboys and the Titans. And his older son, RJ, just got a basketball scholarship to Clemson. Wow. So you can best believe that, Grant Godfrey wants to stay close to home. But I think his dream would be to be a Georgia Bulldog. So they're going to be playing a lot of talented teams. South Georgia's always been tough. So it'll be interesting. Will they compete? Absolutely. To go and run and make a championship, I'm not too sure. It just depends on how well the team is gelling closer to the end of the season.
Yeah, just thinking about all that talent that you listed off, it's just scary. Like Georgia high school football is one of the best states in the country, right? You're getting elite talent at all classification levels. So, look, while North Carolina won, we only go to 4A, but that does not discount the level of talent that's coming out, right? It may not be on the same level as Georgia, right, when it comes to that much elite talent. But I will say this, North Carolina, for the next at least several years that I'm seeing, this class and even really this past class too, they're pushing out some elite talent. And like I said, in 2024, just as an example, Jaden Davis, quarterback out of Providence Day in Charlotte, 24/7 has their top 24/7 number 1 overall regardless. Jonathan Paylor, like I mentioned earlier, number 8 overall. North Carolina, if these guys continue to progress, I'm telling you right now, people are going to keep a lookout for North Carolina as a state. And talking about Grimsley, look, everybody knows Grimsley for the most part, at least within the Georgia space, because of Travis Shaw. But They had more than Travis Shaw. They lose, Alonzo Barnett, you lose Tamori Thompson. A lot of these guys go into, less, I wouldn't say, not Power 5, right? South Carolina State is not a slouch. I like what South Carolina brings to the table. James Madison, if you keep up with James Madison, they played into the playoffs and I think won it all. So not slouch programs, right? Just not D1, right? So just keep that for the record, not discrediting any of those schools. Good schools. But then everybody knows Travis Shaw, right? Sit there, goes to North Carolina over Georgia, things like that. Look, just one guy doesn't mean anything. there's so much more there, right? Like I said, now we've started to understand Jamal is here. He's a presence, right? You've got other guys like Alex and Terrell. You've got just a bunch of guys here. But in the 4A space, you're looking at other schools around here, and it's insane. It really is, because you've got schools like Dudley at 3A that just came off of their state title this past year, right here local to me, right? And I haven't even left a triad yet. So you've got East Forsyth, you've got Glenn, both out of Kernersville, both ridiculous good schools too. You got Northeast Guilford with Barry Tate, which I'm telling you now, that kid's legit. You sit there, you've got Page, that's a power, or I wouldn't say a powerhouse, but they're commonly known around the triad. You got Mount Tabor, and Patrick here says Dudley's got sponsors. That they do. Coach Anderson at DC down there, boys got a damn good defense. They call them the D boys for a reason. So kids are legit down there. So I love seeing this, right? I'll just focus on the triad. I can focus on the triad and get enough college or enough high school football. But if you want to talk about Charlotte, you can. Let's not forget a kid over there. Legit talent. We need to get back on him. He releases top 5, took Georgia out, put Florida State in. Georgia needs to get back on that. Kid's legit. You need to get on it. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if he's listening, but I'm just saying, hey, we're here. We know, right? We know.
Right.
Like, trust me, I know. I know. But nonetheless, hey, look. So those are some names right here, guys. Look, we could go on and on, right? We could do this all day if we really wanted to, Juan, but we're not going to. I don't know if the people want to hear enough of that, right? So we're going to wrap it up here, guys. What we're going to do Monday, welcome in Mike Yuba. We're going to understand the Gamecocks a little bit Monday. I want to go ahead and preview for Monday's show. Understanding the Gamecocks, there's a lot of offseason hype right now with Spencer and Stogner. We're going to talk more about that right there. We definitely want to pick Mike's brain a little bit there. Looking forward to that, right? I think the East needs to step up, and I think South Carolina might be a team to do that. So it's always good to kind of get this under the radar. If you don't remember, my guy Chris last year told us about Josh Van well ahead of time, and then Josh Van came to proceed to torch us against when we played him this year. Keep that in mind. That there's a reason. There's the reason. With that being said, Juan, hey, look, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, by the way. The brigade, y'all came in hot, came in heavy. Thank you as always. You're the best brigade I know, period. Right, best chat I know. Other than that, Juan, you got any last words you want to say before we wrap this thing up, man?
Man, there's nothing bigger than to say just go Dogs.
I'm not mad about that at all, because it's always a good time to say go Dogs.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch back on one more point. Before we wrap this up, Team Traley, I'm looking right at you. Good job, girl. You kicked ass. With that being said, have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you back on the next episode. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
And back on for Q&A. One had to leave us. So it will be myself, waiting for questions, answers, if you got comments. Yeah, so Patrick here, but while we keep going and let other folks get their questions if they would like to. Grimsley Page are top-tier rivals in the state. Yeah, the rivalry is dirty. I love that damn rivalry. I love it. Growing up, I remember High Point Central, High Point Andrews, and that was always a scary rivalry because you always heard of like crazy shit popping off. But those schools were legit back in the day. Now, this is back in the day. I'm not going to tell my age, but yeah. But, looking at Grimsley and Page now, Tanil saying, go Dogs. Hey, go Dogs, Tanil. Welcome back to the brigade. Yeah, that's another one. Central and Andrews. You got, it's interesting to see how things change, right, if you're focusing on schools. What's going on? So let's do this real fast. What's going on at the Combine? Let me pull some stuff up here. Like I said, I know Nakobe was talking about some things. What are your expectations? Do you hear about Trayvon Walker? Did you hear Trayvon Walker, what he's expecting to run in regards to his 40 time at 272 pounds? 4.5s? At that weight, holy shit. That's all I'm going to say. If he does that, that's insane. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Who do you think? So I guess another thing while we let people get in here, so I'm going to ask a question while people posting comments or things like this. Who do you think is going to have the best combine out of the Georgia guys that are there? What are your expectations for that? Because I'm telling you now, you could possibly see 4 Georgia players come off the list. Ooh, Patrick, that's a good question. What do you think Mr. Jordan Davis will run? Give me a sub 5. I want to see it happen. Give me a 5 flat or a sub 5. That'd be fucking insane. I would. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. If he runs at 3, I think he was there at like 340 or something like that right now. I think if he runs that right there, if he runs a sub 5 or right in the 4.9s or right, my man's solidified himself as a round 1. No question about that. No question. He better not fall to round 2. There would be some stupid teams that do. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense if he runs that. That's all I'm gonna say. Joel, thank you for the comment and the kind words there. Thank you for that. Pickens or Dean? Okay. Look, Pickens had a good time. I think his vertical, was questioned. Like, some people were kind of overestimated that or just wasn't up to expectations, what people thought. But at the same time, look, my man ran up 4.40 unofficial. I think he made enough money with that right there. He can catch the fucking ball. We see it all the time. I think what could ding him and what could keep him out of the first is the lack of tape. Unfortunately, him being hurt this season kind of threw a loop in there. Throw Trayvon in there too. Yeah, no, dude. You look at some of these guys that are coming out. I think you look at, for me, James Cook. James Cook has a lot to. He definitely got better this season, but I think if he runs a solid time, and I think we see what he can do at the receiving position. But if I want to see his drills, running the reaction drills, thing like that. If he does well for that, there's no reason why he can't shoot up the boards. I need to see his measurables too. I need to see if I can find those. I need to see his measurables because I think the measurables can ding some guys too. I just hate to see it. Cook is going to be up there. Patrick says from all the mocks that he sees, Trayvon has averaged the best draft slot overall. Yeah, look, I think scouts see this. You look at, and this is what, listen, anybody that wants to tell you shit about stats and why they mean more than anything else is a goddamn liar. All right. You sit there like Jordan Davis is one of the most impactful defensive linemen in the country, but because his stats aren't there, people want to bash the kid. Get the hell out of here with that. Trayvon Walker had a good amount of sacks, and the way he played, it wasn't even utilizing his pass rush ability to the fullest. An NFL team's going to do that, right? Georgia had him playing, kind of tight, right? Get him on that. Get him a little bit further outside. And I'm telling you right now, at that weight, oh my God, there's no reason why. And NFL scouts will see that. Why do you think he's getting the highest slot? If you want to talk about that, right? That's exactly why. Tanil agree. Even think about the runabouts. Yeah, and I'm curious to see how Zeus looks. Honestly, I want to see what he runs, right? Because I know with his story is amazing. I think I want to see his 40 time, and I want to see his receiving. I think I want to see how good he is at the receiving portion of the drills. I think that will be telling to me. I think it will. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other guys. Devontae White. Look, Devontae White. If he has a good, if Devontae has a good showing in this combine, there's no reason why he can't be a late slot. Like a late first rounder. I know at one point I saw a mock draft where he had him at the Packers. That'd be a nice pickup for the Green Bay. But Green Bay, in my opinion, this is a needs, right? Green Bay needs a receiver. Get Aaron Rodgers if you want to keep him. I'll laugh Green Bay the hell out of the draft. I think it was when they picked Jordan Love. I laugh because you could get you got all these options. You could get anything, but you picked the one position to piss Rodgers off. The one pick, and you did it. Any guesses on Zeus's 40? If I'm wrong, clip it. I don't even give a shit. Give me 461. 461. Give me 461. I know he's explosive. I know he's strong, but I just think I think he might go a little bit lower, and I'll be wrong. Whatever. I don't care. I think 461. If he goes look, we have to understand here. If we're talking about the difference between the unofficial and the official, look, we saw sometimes like over a full second difference, right? So I'm gonna take that right there. Rude's definitely quicker than fast. Yeah, I mean, look, that's what you want. Sometimes what NFL teams are looking for in running backs now. You want the dual threats, which is why I think James Cook is going to go and do very well. They're looking for those dual threat running backs. Zeus has the capability to do that, but he's your thumper. He's your. We saw what he did against Clemson. We saw what he did against Bama. He can get those yards. He's always going to fall forward. He has a niche in the NFL. Both guys are going to get drafted. It's just a matter of when. I do think James Cook goes before him, though, based off of his skill set and in regards to what teams need and what they're looking for. But I hope both of them do very well. I'm just going to leave that there. Let's see. Tanil, we are RBU. No doubt about it. I don't care what any fucking Bama fan tells me. RBU. I'll take that. Some Wisconsin fans try to tell me, look, Wisconsin's drawn some guys out there too. Bama's done it really good recently, but I mean, and you got Sean Alexander and all those guys in the back, but shit, give me Herschel over any of those guys. Maybe Derrick Henry. That'd be interesting as shit. Should I put up Herschel versus Derrick Henry and put him in the same league at the same like Bo and Bo and Herschel? That'd be wild. Let's think. Here's another one. I'm curious to see what Lewis Seen does. Nobody's kind of like he's kind of fell off. Like nobody's thought about it. Like I want to see him cover, right? Like show me some good ball skills. I think he can make some money if he does. I think that's something he needs to do. I think Darian Kendrick's underrated. Like I think I heard him something about like the 10th cornerback or some shit like that. Get out of here with that. Dude's better than that. Stop playing. Let's see. Kind of tailed off here a little bit, so give it maybe a little bit more time if anybody has any questions about the combine or anything like that. Now it's been a good day. I'm glad that the combine's going on because it gives you something to kind of keep an eye for. All right, Patrick is going out, sir. Have a great day. Great rest of your day. Tyndall's going to show. Oh yeah, that's another name that people kind of sleep on. Everybody's looking at N'Kobe and Jordan and Pickens. Tyndall, look, I guarantee you, he's going to have a damn good combine showing. My man is going to shoot up some draft boards. Just saying. I think Quay Walker can too. I just need to see the reactions, right? I want to see him. I want to see how his instincts are. Athletic freak, both of them. Ooh, any late round gems for the dogs? Oh my goodness, girl. It's tough. I think that's a good one. I'm curious to see where Jamari goes. How high up does he go? I don't know if he's a late round gem or not. I would like to think he does. He gets drafted in the first to middle rounds, I would hope. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna throw that question out to you, Roots. Who are your late round gems? I have a feeling Scene might fall to like the third or fourth round, maybe. Zeus depends on the running back situation. Like I think Zeus could honestly, I hate to say it, fall like fourth or fifth. I mean, that's just all. Everybody, anybody that tries to bet on these drafts, like, boy, y'all got some brass cojones, man. I can't do it. It's so hard to understand what teams need and how they view their boards. Like you don't know. But I think Tyndall is a good one, Roots. I think you can look at Quay Walker too. I think Tyndall and Quay should be around the same area, honestly. Both of them are athletic. I think Quay goes a little bit higher just based off of the athletic and measurables. but look, Tyndall showed his speed. Everybody saw that shit. Yeah, honestly, I think Zeus can be a solid pickup for any team. Always needing 4 yards. Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy how bad the Eagles misutilized Holyfield initially. Like I thought that it was going to be better than that. So to me, like Holyfield had a lot of potential, but they just when you get to it's all a system base, right? Like I hate to say it, but like Tua going to Miami, if he goes to like Pittsburgh, who knows, right? Like it's all about where you go. So, if the right team picks him up, send Zeus to Buffalo. Think about that. Send Zeus to Buffalo in the cold weather in December and shit like that. Being able to run the ball and kill clock and stuff like that. I know you got Josh Allen and you got what you got, but I can see that, right? Give it to a team that put them on a contender, right? Put them on a contending team. I feel like Zeus could be better in a cold weather situation. I think that's the kind of thing because Zeus is so much of a thumper as a running back that people don't want to tackle him. Like you don't want to tackle a bruiser like that in the cold weather. Play him up north in the Patriots or something like that right there. That's scary when you come to sitting there and just doing that, right? Like that'd be some crazy shit. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like Zeus, I think Zeus fits better in those kind of environments. That's just my thought. Look, Zeus is going to be fine, right? You need those thumping running backs. Let's be honest. Marshawn Lynch proved that, and I think it's still a necessity to have. Now I understand the thunder lightning type feel, right? But if you can do it all, you have all Nick Chubb. There you go, or Derrick Henry. There you go. Show that you can catch. If you can try, because we know he's good pass pro, right? We know he's good pass pro. So you can sit there and put him on a team that needs some help. Right, I think you could go there. So people kind of forget about his pass pro, really. So think about Cincinnati. Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times in a game and still won. But if you put in Zeus at Cincinnati, he's going to get at least some help, right? He's going to get some help, and he ain't going to get sacked as much. I think Cincinnati needs to focus on offensive line. They better focus on offensive line. But having Zeus in a situation where like you have an elite quarterback like that, like Joe Burrow, and giving him that protection to stay in the pocket and make throws to Jamar Chase and whatnot, tell me why that wouldn't be a good fit, right? That would be a really good fit. Like James Cook, I think James Cook would be a good fit. I don't even know. Like, that's so tough. Yeah, so you can go anywhere. Like obviously Dalvin, you kind of see what Dalvin is. I want him to look different though. I think they're going to have their own different stories, but I think it would be a good spot if I could get him anywhere. Get him to the Falcons. I don't really care for NFL too much, but get Matt Ryan some help out of the backfield. I know you get Kyle Pitts, and they need really help a lot more places. Does Zeus or Cook make a fit for the Niners? Well, Roots, I think I would take Zeus, depending on how you focus on this, because you've got Debo. And so you've already got that receiver, but if you grab Cook, you can sit there and people are going to utilize, and focus they're going to game plan against Debo, right? This is what's going to happen. So Cook would give you an option out of the backfield in the receiving game and put them on, make you pay for trying to double cover Debo. So maybe Cook. I think Cook would be better. I love Zeus though. Don't get me wrong, but I think you look at the grand scheme of things, get Cook so that you can either make them pay for double covering or game planning against Debo, or have to focus on Cook so that Debo gets less double coverage and shit like that. That's my thought there. I would take Cook if I'm the Niners, if he's there and you needed a running back. Let's see. Where do you think? What team would Jordan Davis fit better at? I want to see that, guys. What team do y'all think Jordan Davis would fit best at? In the comments, let me know. I think he would fit good at the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. I don't know about I don't care for the Raiders. Fuck them Raiders. I just never care. I don't want him to go get wasted. I don't want to see him get wasted. Definitely don't get. I heard Trayvon at 32 to Detroit, or Jordan Davis at 32 to Detroit. Please don't let any Georgia Bulldog. You need to get Swift out of there now. Right? Get Swift out of there now, because Detroit wastes careers. I'm just saying. I'm not sorry about it. That's what the hell they do. I don't want to see any Georgia Bulldog go to Detroit. If I had my way, I would say nope, no Georgia picks ever. Period. Jordan Davis, I'm telling you now, Jordan Davis, wherever he goes, he's going to fit in. But I think an AFC team, because most of the time, at least traditionally, I would think AFC teams ran more 3-4. So, his ability to take and eat blocks in the middle, right? Obviously, we know he's a multi-gapper or two-gapper, if you want to call him. So, I would say get him on an AFC team would be nice. But if you compare him with the right guys, put him at Pittsburgh, like that would be some shit. You get Watt, you get Watt in that defense, or Baltimore. Baltimore would be scary good. Give me an AFC North team for him, and that shit's ridiculous. Look, Mount Cody was obviously Baltimore took Mount Cody back in the day, but yeah, Rubes brings up Chicago. I just don't know if Chicago takes them, especially first round that early. There's more holes there. And protect Fields or get him some talent at receiver. I mean, definitely, I'm not disagreeing with you, Roots. I definitely think Jordan Davis could fill that spot. I really do. It's just in round one, I think there's more important holes to fill, especially when you have to look at what your franchise quarterback's having to deal with. I think they go either offensive line or get him a receiver. Get him a receiver that he can throw to. I think that might be how they work in that regard. We'll see, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's a good fit. But at the same time, I think there's bigger needs for Chicago. There's more holes too. So, I can see somebody that has kind of a luxury toward the mid to late rounds. Maybe a team that just got beat, like like a Tampa Bay would be wild, right? I know they got Vita Vea, but at the same time, and the Domicone. But if those guys go to free agency, you got Jordan Davis in the mix playing up in the front. But I think if Jordan Davis was to go down and play at 330, I would like to say that he's able to play 3 downs. I think that's going to be the big thing is you need him to be a 3-down guy. But there's a team that I'm sure there's a team out there that's going to need him just based off the talent level alone. With that being said, guys, we're going to wrap this up. And look, if you want to hit it up, we'll talk in the Discord. If people want to hop in, remember discord.com/invite/Bones Brigade. Join today, and we will talk some combine in there. With that being said, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go Dogs.